On September 11, 2001, at 8:46 a.m., our world as we knew it changed forever. When 4 hijacked jet planes crashed into the Twin Towers, the Pentagon, and a field in Pennsylvania, killing thousands of innocent people, we watched in horror and disbelief. It's a day that we'll never forget, and I know that we all remember the exact moment and what we were doing and where we were at that time.
I remember the tragedy of 9/11 very vividly. I was in my classroom. I was a journalism advisor, so we had TVs running all the time, watching CNN, MSNBC. We saw the first tower fall, and then the second.
I was teaching 9th grade English at Crandall High School on 9/11, and I remember that moment when the first plane hit. I remember it with a clarity that I think comes from a moment in your life that's so impactful.
I was principal at the middle school and community ISD. A teacher came in and said that there's a plane that's been flown into the Twin Towers in New York, and so we pulled a TV into the office, and then when the second tower got hit, I remember looking at my secretary and saying, "This is not an accident."
And I can remember everyone taking a large gasp, and it felt like all the air had been sucked out of the room.
And it shook you. You thought, why? How could this happen?
I was working for the Greenville Police Department. At that time I was serving arrest warrants when we got word that there had been an attack on American soil.
We learned about the tragedy in Pennsylvania and the attack on the Pentagon.
The other had ended up in a field, I believe, in rural Pennsylvania, and had been taken down by some of the passengers on the plane who were determined, who had evidence on their cell phones and other things of what had happened. We all began to think the same thing, that this was deliberate, this was intentional, this was not an accident.
Prior to 9/11, we were a nation of innovators, peacekeepers, explorers. We brought down the Cold War. We took down the Berlin Wall. We created medicines that cured disease and illness. We conquered space. After 9/11, we were faced with the realization that evil exists in the world.
As you see the way Americans responded, Congress was seeking prayer, united us as a nation. People had one resolve, and that we were Americans.
Patriotism was at an all-time high. Freedom rallies took place leading up to the first year of the anniversary of 9/11. I remember that more young men and women began to volunteer and enter the military, our police academies and our fire academies, to show their support for our nation by serving in roles that demand public service and demand that their lives be put on the line.
My daughter going into the Army, so proud of her for wanting to do something for her country.
The amazing part was the flags that started waving, the unity that developed because of it. People came together that hadn't been together on anything, and they came under that one banner that we appreciate, our flag.
I want to thank the veterans out there for your service, for your honor, those in the past, those in the present, those who will choose to join in the future. Thank you for standing that post and protecting us against that evil. You deserve our respect.